All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's just after 4 o'clock in the New York City, New Jersey area. My name is Lou Tenora, and thank you for tuning in and calling in. Number to call is 512-543-4662. Once again, 512-543-4662, and we'll be here just before 6 o'clock before Rizal McGee takes over his fine show, which airs that approximately 6 o'clock. Don't forget about Kevin Dixon's show, Just Sports, Mondays from 7 to 9, except during football season where it's 6 to 8, and Betty Cantley's show sometime within the near future. We just can't say when, but it'll soon to be happening. You'll hear before you know it. All right. And don't forget, check us out on YouTube after the show. Just go to YouTube and type in The Enhanced Sports Show, and you'll hear the show in its entirety. All right. Diane will be along a little bit later, I hope. So I'll just bring in Steve Davidson and Mike right now. Steve? And Mike. Yeah, and I must forgot to unmute myself. Okay, that was interesting. And Steve Ken just arrived. Steve? All right. Yeah. Almost forgot to unmute myself. Okay. Well, that can happen. All right. So let's see. Maybe we should begin with NBA. All right. Let's do that. Well, the Mavericks escaped elimination last night, and it was a big one, and I mean a big one. And of course, my prediction, well, is now out the window. Thank you very much, because I said a sweep from the beginning. I thought, how could Dallas measure up? Especially with Porzingis. I mean, because they're doing fine without him, and Boston, has been strong all year. That they just blew everybody out, in these playoffs, and all of a sudden, Dallas Mavericks went on like a scoring machine last night and embarrassed, and I mean embarrassed the Celtics. No offense, Steve Kent, but I mean still, it was. I mean, it's like Boston just forgot to show up last night. So, but of course, it's down now 3-1, and no team has ever come back from trailing 3-0 in a series, including the finals. But over the course of these 48 minutes, the Celtics were handed one of the most unholy beatdowns in finals history. In fact, like that playoffs history overall, with an embarrassing, pathetic 122-84 victory. That's what I said, 122-84. I did not make that up. The Celtics do have 3 more chances to put away the Mavericks, which they probably will. I mean, no question about it. I mean, I don't think Dallas is going to be able to pull off 4 in a row. If it does, it'd be a miracle. They're shooting for their 18th championship, which would be the most in NBA history, which would break that tie with the Lakers. And I'm a Laker fan, so I'm pretty much disappointed about that myself. And get this. The fact that this game was so one-sided, the Mavericks have now outscored the Celtics in points in this whole series. Just that one win. And look at that. That is just unbelievable. I mean, for the most part, though, it's been a very competitive series, which I thought it would be. I just didn't think that the Mavericks could pull off a win. There was no shortage of the history made last night. The 38-point margin on the Celtics and the 35 were the third largest in finals history, peaking at 47. Oh, boy. And the Celtics' 35 points were the lowest in a half since Joe Mazzulla took over as head coach. Luka scored 25 points, the most scored by a Maverick in a finals half, period. The game was so far out of reach in the third quarter, the Celtics said, I want to go home. No. They pulled out their starters, and the Mavericks did as well, but the game was so out of reach. It didn't matter. And such as Tim Hardaway, and brought in the reserves, such as Tim Hardaway Jr., and the onslaught continued. I know it's only one game. The Celtics will enter Game 5 at home on Monday. I thought it was tomorrow, but it's Monday. Oh, gee, boy. So they have potential of closing him out. Porzingis did not play, but he could have played as he was been cleared. And he'd be available. His presence alone, I think, would have, made it a different outcome for the Celtics. That's what I think. If Porzingis would have been there, I think it would have been a whole different outcome. So Luka finished with 29 points on 12 for 26 shooting. Not bad. With 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Yeah, three steals. And Kyrie Irving had 21 points on 10 for 18 shooting with 6 assists and 4 rebounds. Game five, like I said, is Monday night, 8:30. So let me start off with Steve Kent, since he's from the Boston area. Steve, what happened? Really? Yes. I guess not. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no question. Yes. I guess you could say it's pretty lively about that. Yeah. Yeah, because that was I found very surprising. You could say that again. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, I don't think you can see that again. I mean, the Celtics just had off night, but then again, they're off nights and then they're off nights. That was just unreal. So anyway, Steve Davidson, any thoughts on that? Uh, mm, well, not in a final. In a playoff game, I have, but in a final like that, no, not at all. Mike, any thoughts? Well, I think maybe the Celtics just looked lethargic for some odd reason, and Dallas just came out on fire. But Dallas took advantage of it. So now you guys but remember, now Boston goes home, and they're unstoppable at home. So this might have just been a short reprieve for Dallas. So anyway, on to Porzingis. He was listed as questionable for Game 4. Um, the Celtics were not providing much insight into the status of the big man. His rare injury to his lower left leg kept him out of Game 3 against the Mavericks. Did not do an encore with reporters 2 days after he answered questions related to his injury. Now, the Mavericks were off to a good start in Game 3, but then they just fell apart. Then was making a comeback and whatnot. So, they should have won Game 3 as well, but Boston's just too strong. And Diane's here. Good. I think she's here. There we go. Okay, that's better. First, yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 I thought so. Uh, hmm, yeah. He was a pitcher for the Red Sox. Yeah. The bloody sock. I was able to say that. Yep. Right. Yes. But either way you look at it, it's ugly. So let's look at it that way. So Missoula did not offer any much insight. What meant that Thursday's injury report was the last official word whether Porzingis' latest injury would keep him out for Game 4, and it obviously did. Up until last night, well, they still have one game away from winning their 18th title, which, like I said, would break a title for the Lakers, which saddens me, of course. Uh, the injury to his lower left leg kept him out of Game 3. Wait, Porzingis had dislocated tendon in his left leg caused by a tear in the tissue that holds the tendon in place. Ugh, that sounds gruesome. Oof. Uh, and even Joe Mazzulla said the situation was serious. So based on that alone, I think Steve Fry right. I don't think it would be a good idea for Porzingis to come back in at all. They don't even need him. I mean, they've done well without him the whole season anyway in the postseason. So it's not going to be much of a difference. I think it's safe to say that Monday night the Celtics are going to take it anyway, much to my dismay, of course. Yeah. Okay. You get the idea. Al Horford started all three games for the Celtics, even though Porzingis was in the first two. He scored Xavier Tillman scored a 3-pointer during a 20-5 run while playing in the title series for the first time without Porzingis. He signed a 2-year, $60 million deal extension after he's acquiring a trade with the what team was that? Steve Davidson? No, no, we're talking NBA, not baseball. Porzingis. Yes, yes. And last summer, the deal starts next season. Yeah. So we got him first, which was bad enough. Then you got him. He didn't do much. Now all of a sudden, he's a superstar in Boston. It makes me sick. It really does. He had potential in New York, but he kept getting injured. Then he went over to the Wizards, didn't do anything, and now he's on the verge of winning a championship for Boston. Oh boy. Does anybody got a barf bag I can use? Okay. Next, Kristaps Porzingis. Or if you're a Big Bang Theory, Brazinga. No. Never mind. Moving on. More NBA news as Joel Embiid, who was at the NBA Finals for Game 4, says his next stop will be next month at Paris for the Olympics. One can only hope. The star center, who missed over half the season, was hobbled in the playoffs with a knee injury, said in an interview his recovery is going well and believes he'll be ready for Paris next month. No, it doesn't give you a lot of time. It's only 6 weeks to go, people. He says he's doing well. He said in the pregame report before Game 4, it said it'll be a big deal for me. I've been dreaming this since I was a kid. Well, there's nothing better than playing for your home country, of course, so I understand that. Well, playing for the Olympics, he's not actually going to play for his home country, Cameroon. I'll explain that in a minute. His health has been in question surrounding the U.S. roster since it was announced earlier this spring. He's one of three centers, along with the Lakers' Anthony Davis and Miami Heat's Bam Adebayo, a.k.a. Bam Bam, as I call it. Other injury questions in recent weeks have revolved around the status of Tyrese Haliburton, the Pacers, and the Clippers' Kawhi Leonard. Well, that's not a surprise there. He's always injured. Yeah, whatever. Both who were hobbling or sidelined in the postseason. The Pacers expect Haliburton, who suffered a hamstring issue, to be ready for training camp, which starts just after the 4th of July. Leonard missed 12 of the Clippers' 14 play games with right knee inflammation. Embiid had a number of options this summer. He could have played for France or his native Cameroon. But, however, in October, he decided to choose to play for the U.S. team now that he is a U.S. citizen and his son was being born here. Well, I can't think of a better reason than that. So, yeah, I see a point there. He says for the past few years, it's been every decision I have made has been based on family. And last year, he revealed the decision. My family, my son, having the opportunity to play a chance to play for the U.S. team with my son being born here. I love my home country, but I really want to play in the Olympics. It makes a good point. And, I don't know, but I think he's going to be a great addition to the U.S. Basketball team. I would think he could have played for Cameroon, that's his home country, or France, where he grew up, I think. But I think he's making the right choice. And he made some good points of why he wants to play for the U.S. And, I think it's a good fit. Any thoughts on him coming over here to play for the U.S. Squad? Yeah, we're talking Embiid now. Joel Embiid. I'm sure they'll get it. I'm sure they'll get it. Steve Kent. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. He has. Yeah. So would I. Yeah. No. Greece is yet to qualify. Steve. Greece is yet to qualify. So what's his name? Mignogna, Not for us. No. For France. Yeah, but it didn't do much for his team though. For the Spurs, they still ended up next to last place in the whole. Yeah. Hmm. All right, Mike. Any thoughts, Mike? Okay, we're doing it. Yeah. No, the men's. We'll get to the men's later. We'll get to the women's later. I'm trying. We got to try to move quickly, guys, because we got a lot of stuff to do. So I can't do long. And Matt's here too. Matt, you have any thoughts with the NBA and with the finals or the Olympic or the yeah. Let me get Matthew though. Matthew, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, right. Okay. By the way, just a quick update here. Has anybody been following Euro Cup though? The last couple days, the tournament just started yesterday. Right now, checking out the Italy versus Albania game right now with about 20 minutes to go, minus extra time. Italy is up 2-1, and I'm looking to see that they get this victory. Although, you got to watch out for Spain because Spain was very dominant in their win this afternoon. So that's gonna be a bit of a battle uh, in that division right there. We'll go more into that later on. All right, Nikola Jokic of the Nuggets was included on the Siberia 16-man preliminary roster for next month's list, silencing any doubts that he will skip the tournament. The three-time MVP missed some international tournaments in the past, citing long NBA seasons. But since the Nuggets were upset the second round, um, he spent the past few weeks getting ready and vacationing. The last international tournament he played was Euro basketball, the Euro tournament in 2022, and he also won a silver for Siberia back in 2016. So not a lot of international experience uh, for the Joker, but he's had time off, between the last of the NBA's playoffs and now. I think he's going to be ready. Siberia, has made some strides in basketball over the past few years, especially like in the other tournaments and whatnot. So I think he's going to be ready. I don't see Siberia though as being a major threat in the Olympic tournament, but I think he's gonna make a run of it somehow. We'll see. Any thoughts before I move on? You'd be surprised. Now you'd be surprised. And the Suns hire former uh, Wizards coach Mike Hopkins. Sorry, Steve. After 7 seasons, oh, I'm sorry, it's Washington. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Washington State with the Huskies. Those Huskies. Sorry, I was thinking. Yeah. After 7 seasons with the Huskies, Hopkins will join Mike Bulldozer's new coaching staff, Bullenhoser, oh boy, which includes Dave Frisdale and of course, that was a joke, Bulldozer. That was a joke. Hopkins had a decent record here, 124-110 with Washington, including a 2019 Pac-12 conference title and NCAA tournament bid. Hopkins played for the legendary Jim Boeheim at Syracuse, spending 22 seasons as coaching staff. Hopkins also has experience in in the NBA during his time with NBA players as he was uh, coaching for USA basketball. So he's making a move to the Suns. The Suns could use him, and maybe they can get past the second round. They try so hard to get there. They get like best records in the regular season and whatnot, and then when it comes to playoff times, the Suns just can't seem to hold together. They've got to get good coaching and better players if they want to make a serious run at going further in the postseason. And by the way, the draft is yeah, yes, he did. He went back. He went back to the Bucks. He was smart. Yeah, as long as he doesn't ham it up. Okay, okay, but up, bump, bump. All right. Speaking of the other Huskies, my Yukon Huskies, that is, uh, Dan Hurley turns down a six. Now get this, he turns down a 6-year, $70 million offer to stay with Yukon. First of all, I think you're cuckoo because you've got to be nuts to turn that kind of money. I think. Well, hopes for a three-peat with Yukon. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. The Lakers have made Hurley one of the highest-paid coaches if that offer went through. But before opening talks with Lakers, Hurley had another offer from Yukon to become the highest-paid or one of the highest-paid NCAA coaches. Talks to continue ESPN. Hurley signed a 6-year, $32 million offer with Yukon at the end of last season. As the pursuit of Hurley over the past few weeks, the Lakers would regroup and resume bringing in prospects for interviews with the hopes of hiring the coach before this month is over. Pelicans assistant James Magaro is expected to remain in the process, and the Lakers could do their first formal interviews with JJ Reg, which they are going to. The talks I think are going on as we speak, or maybe by tomorrow. But the Lakers are interviewing Redick, as I've been told. Hurley told ESPN that the Lakers made a compelling case and presented a compelling vision for him to become their next head coach. But he says he loves what he has done for UConn and has won 2 straight national titles, looking for a third one. Well, you got a point there, but I don't know. It's kind of tough to do with 3 people. That kind of money, yeah, I get you want to stay there, but how could you turn down that kind of money? They go, why would you do that? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I think somebody just did. Uh, right, Di? You really think it's a big headache, huh? Yeah, maybe you're right. Still, I know, but I still think you turn that kind of money. I think you got something wrong with you. I'd be crazy to do that, but maybe you're right. Maybe under normal circumstances, yeah, you're probably right. But I still think that you're nuts turning that kind of money. That's a lot of money. Yes. Okay. Anyone else? Steve, we gotta go five. Steve, we can't go more than 5 minutes. Steve, 5 minutes per topic. Anyone else have any thoughts? Anyone else? Go ahead. Okay. Anyone else? Going once, going twice, no sale. Okay. And as you mentioned on David Ham, yes, he is going to rejoin the Bucks. Doc Rivers' staff as a top assistant. He was fired by the Lakers after going 94-70 and a trip to the Western Finals. He returns to a franchise where he spent 4 returns as part of the 2021 Bucks. Ham had been highly sought after the season and is back with a Bucks franchise that was hit. It was injury hit in a first round loss to the Pacers. And he had a strong relationship with key Bucks players, including the Greek Freak. Rivers was hired at the midway point of the season after the departure of Adrian Griffin after his first season and been remaking the coaching staff. So you're right on that, Steve. Diane, are you there? Okay, someone's slamming their doors again. All right. We got some passings to bring along to you. Some are obvious and some you may not be aware of. First up, Josh Maravich, the former LSU player and the son of the late Pistol Pete, passed away last Friday at the age of 42. The cause of death was not known, but it did say he passed away at the family home in Louisiana. What a shame. Josh was one of two of his children, and uh, he passed away when only Josh was 5 years old of heart failure. That's what he died from. I wasn't sure about that. Like his dad, Josh was a star. He played at LSU like his dad. He scored 1,000 points in St. Paul High School in Covington. His senior season averaged 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, and earned MVP honors in his district. Only the age of 42, though. Wow. It's very young. All right. Yeah. I'll do some other news on that later. All right, guys. The could be another sweep here tonight. Florida, Edmonton. Now, this kind of surprised me, to be honest with you, because I didn't know how this series was going to go. I mean, I did not see, if anything, looking at a sweep from either side. I mean, yeah, you have Barkov and you have a few of Florida, but you have the duo of Draisaitl and the Wonder Boy for Edmonton, Connor McDavid, but they have been lacking, in these playoffs. I mean, yeah, they did make a game of it in Game 3 on Thursday night, but Florida is just too strong. Well, they were stronger. They were up 4-1 going into the third period, and Edmonton did fire back with 2 goals, but a miraculous save by Barkov iced it for the Panthers in game 4. So now we're down to what could be the final game of the season for the Oilers. And in all of Stanley Cup history, only one team has ever won a series, a final that is, from coming down 3-0. That was the Maple Leafs way back when in 1941-42. 3 others have forced a 7-game on other series, but never won the final. So this looks like put up or shut up right now for the Oilers. And, Florida, I think, has just been the better team all throughout this series. And, this might be a way to close it out. I mean, the Oilers looking desperate. Hold on. And the first. Yeah. Steve, we're not talking about that. We're talking about hockey right now. Okay. All right. Yeah. But, I thought the Oilers were going to be a lot stronger with the series over the Panthers, especially if McDavid was going to be. I said if McDavid was going to be on his game and Draisaitl, who, by the way, now let me ask you this. Now, did anybody see the game in game 2 where Draisaitl just whacked Barkov out of the game midway through the third period? did. All right. Well, get this. The league did neither suspend him or fine him for his actions. Now, I know this. I know this is the finals, and everybody's going all out, and whatnot. But that was a vicious hit, and I think he deserves some kind of punishment. At least maybe being fined. All right, maybe suspended not because of the nature of the of where we are, in the season, because this is a final. But he got off scot free and didn't get and got away with murder. He didn't get disciplined for anything. He should have. I mean, look. I mean, he was bleeding. It's like another. It's like what we said before with the bloody sock. I mean, this could happen again. You know, luckily, he was able to play, in the next game and whatnot. But that was a vicious hit, and I think the Department of Player Safety should have held him responsible and should have given him some kind of, disciplinary action for the hit that he gave Barkov. Am I right or am I right? At least you should, fine him. At least, well, whatever the maximum amount of the fine is. But of course, if it was up to me, I would give him 30 years life in prison. But I don't run the league, so I can't do that. But or any league for that matter. Michael Jordan. Duh. Just like Jordan back in the 90s, right. Just like Jordan back in the 90s. Yes. Well, wait a second. Wait a second, Steve. You don't think Kane is on the same level? I mean, he's a pretty popular guy. Okay. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has plus his. No. Yes. Yes. Yep. It seems to be that way. I really thought this was gonna be much more of a series. I thought maybe it'd be at least I thought it'd be 2-2 right now, or well, actually, well, 2-1, but now it's 3-0, and Edmonton's on the ropes. I really thought, with this duo, Drysdale and McDavid, they were gonna make a series out of it, but they haven't done. It. Hmm, maybe you're right. Yes, right. Yes, true. Yes. Okay. One more hockey note here. Well, they have a name for the new Utah team, and I must say, yeah, it's got to be the most boring name I think there is. They're going to be called, for now, the Utah Hockey Club. Seriously, you couldn't think of a better name than that? Really? Sheesh. Hang on, there's more. All right, the Smith Entertainment Group that announced the move on Thursday and unveiled jerseys and logos that'll be used next season in conjunction with the 1.2 billion sale at the closing. Ryan Smith's company, which also owns the Utah Jazz, so they're going to be playing in the same arena as well. They are formerly known as the Arizona Coyotes, which didn't do anything much. This is a monumental day for the state of Utah as we officially close on the establishment of the new NHL franchise. It's been said the league have been incredible throughout its process and providing us with the guidance and support. We have a lot of work to do. Training camp starts in less than 100 days. Yes, it is a short off season, and they could be more excited what's ahead. Commissioner Gary Bibbins said on behalf of the board of governors that he is delighted to welcome Utah to the league. But I mean, look, of all the names, I mean, Utah hockey. I mean, come on, think about it. I mean, they had such. Wait, yeah. I mean, but look at it. I mean, look at all the better names they had here. I mean, let's look back from what happened about a month ago when I brought this up. So yeah, and fan voting is still going on until June 20th. Yeah, a little bit late for that now. So we had like the Mammoth, the Yeti, the Outlaws, the Blizzard, the Venom. All those names are up there, and you had to go with a lame name like the Utah Hockey Club. I mean, what is this? The MLS? Half of their teams are like the New York City Football Club, LAFC. Come on, be more creative, guys. I mean, that's not really the attention grabber here. I mean, seriously. Yeah, I know. Right. I hope so. Yeah, I would. You know, I remember. It's not necessarily a new team. I mean, it's a carryover. It's a carryover from Phoenix. It's not a new expanded team. Let's get that straight right now. So it's not exactly a new team to begin with. It's not, no, no. Yeah, well, that'd be good too. All right, Steve. Before I go on, get your UFC report because I got some news for you on one of the UFC fighters. Mm. Diane trivia. I'll have it any other way. Well, this 16. 16. 12 to 16. Yeah, 6 to 12. 6 to 12. Remember, guys, expansion started in that 1967-68 season. Other than that, it was just the original six up until that point. So, and remember, the WHA wasn't even invented yet. So you had to factor in that too. 1917. 17. 5 inches thick. 2.5. All right. You guys asked me a question. All right. Now, we all have sportscasters that we like and sportscasters that we don't like. I came across something um, a couple of days ago. If you had to get rid of 3 sportscasters, who would they be? Now, there's no right or wrong answer, guys. Just say who it is. And remember, we're talking current sportscasters, not from a long time ago. So, if you have your 3 that you that was one of them. So, but so give me your 3 that you wish to see that you would never want to have them call another game again. Steve Davidson, start with you. Okay. Okay. Next. No, hold on, hold on. Let's see finish. Steve, any other? Hmm. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Dan. Ooh. Wow. Mike, does anybody have any more than just one, by the way? Okay. Go ahead. All right, Diane, go ahead. That was on my list. Bayless and Buck. And yeah, Chris Collinsworth was on the list too. Well, there you go. Yes. Right. Yeah. And don't forget NBC. Yes. Uh, and and Stephen A. Smith was on the list too. Yeah, and Stephen A. Smith was on the list too. Why? Why am I on the list? Well, that was so bad. Yeah, and Buck was on, and Joe Buck was on the list too. Yeah, and Joe Schmuck was on the list too. Buck. Yeah. Okay. Name it. Oh, come on, really? He's only an analyst, Mike. So okay, all right. So we got Milo. Walt Frazier was a great player for the Knicks too. All right. So he's an analyst for the Knicks. All right. So speaking of UFC, Steve, Conor McGregor will have to wait a little bit more time to get back into the ring as he withdrew from the UFC 303 on Thursday. Dana White said that McGregor's exit was exiting from just an injury. Didn't say what kind of injury, but an injury. The main event was scheduled for the end of this month and will be replaced by a lightweight title rematch between champion Alex Rena and former champion Jim Prozdeka by second round TKO to win the vacant belt at UFC 295 last November. The co-main event, former heavyweight champ Jemiah Hill and Carlos Ulberg is also being replaced by a bout between Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez due to an injury to Hill. Ulberg will now face Anthony Smith. And I believe Italy is 1-2 to 1. Thank you. It was a it's a rough day. Okay. Oh, no wonder it was that early. Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Steve, I'll look it up later. I'll look it up later. Okay. So it was a rough day for UFC all around. Fight night that was scheduled the week before. So also it was the main event between Hamat Shamav and Robert Whitaker got derailed due to a medical issue. McGregor last fought at UFC 264 in July of 2021 when he lost in a third fight against Daniel Poirier via TKO after breaking his tibia at the end of the first round. It has now been more than 4 years since he won a fight and 8 years since he won a title fight. Ugh. And it continues. Hmm. Sounds so good for McGregor's career, doesn't it? Alex is here. Okay. Alex, we're discussing UFC right now. Uh, yeah. And McGregor is out again, due to more problems. McGregor's done. Well, he pulled out of UFC 303, which was supposed to be in about 2 weeks. Instead, due to some kind of injury, but didn't go into detail of what kind of injury. But he hasn't won a fight in 4 years and hasn't won a title fight longer than that. So I don't know. I think McGregor might be done here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, what are you doing? Duh. Okay. All right. So anyway, we're moving on to U.S. Open golf now as we're in the third round, and Ludwig Aberg had the lead up until about a few minutes ago. Matthew Payan, I think it's Payan from Italy, has now taken the lead by 2 strokes. The highest American, Tony Fanu, um, is at 137, 2 strokes back. Patrick Cantley and Brian DeChambeau are right behind. They're tied for third right now, so it's pretty good for the Americans. And Corey Connors from Canada is at sixth. But Woods missed the cut again. Oh, wow. Trying to, he didn't do so well the PGA Championship, and now he's out of the U.S. Open tournament, which people were really looking to see. McIlroy is tied for sixth as well. So we got some pretty big names up here on this list, heading to the final round tomorrow. It's the third major of the year in golf. For those of you who don't know, I want to look at this Tiger Woods story here because I just found this today, actually just about an hour before the show began. Before the show here, here we are. Okay. Ooh, and one of the players hit a hole-in-one. Moroni, he hole-in-one and made the U.S. Open cut. Congratulations. All right, so Woods, a 15-time major champion, watched his putt roll down the green on the 15th hole at Pinehurst, number 2 on Friday. He took a half step off the fringe, anticipating that his ball was about to drop. Instead, Woods suddenly stopped, starting to disbelief. His ball lipped out, denying him a birdie, and desperately needed to make the cut, which he did not. Oh boy. With the projected 36 hole cut 5 over, Woods was sitting at 6 over and needed to make a birdie on the final 3 holes to stick around for the weekend. Unfortunately, it did not happen. So now this, another major that he just fizzled out on. The 3-time U.S. Open winner had a great approach after his tee shot into pine straw on number 16, but his ball could not hold the green. He didn't hit a putt back up the green hard enough and made a bogey. Then Woods nearly holed out for a birdie from the green side bunker on number 17, but settled for a par on the last 2 holes. So Woods earned a 3 over 73 in the second round and was 7 over 147 after 36 holes. He missed the cut by 2 strokes. A miss is a miss. And this was his 4th time in the last 5 starts. Woods has missed the cut 4 times in the past 5 starts in the U.S. Open. He made the cut when he was tied for 21st at Pebble Beach in 2019. He has missed only 1 cut in his first 16 starts in the tournament as a pro. But then again, he is not the young phenom that he once was. Let's factor in that now. I mean, he is getting up there in golf years and age-wise, and missed the cut again. So any thoughts on Woods missing the cut of the U.S. Open? I just found that an hour ago, guys. I think maybe he is. You mean the crash? Yeah, that was it. All right. Yeah, well, we won't get into that now. So that's a different thing altogether. So, all right. So, we don't need to get into that stuff. All right. I had another here. Yeah. So as I was saying, Drysdale, Leon Drysdale, was hit. Hold on. Hargrove was hit by Drysdale. Was unfortunate. He is not a player to seek injury to his opponents. Really, I doubt that very much. I look at it and I think we know that I'm not a player with an intent to injure others by any means. He said that before I started Game 3. You could have fooled me about that. With the Panthers up 2-1 in the third period of Game 2, Barkov played the puck in his defensive zone. Drysdale came on the forecheck, left his skates, and his elbow made contact with Barkov's jaw. The Panthers captain fell to the ice and was tended to by medical staff before leaving for the trainers and did not return to the game. Luckily, he came back in game 3. The Department of Players stated on Tuesday that Draisaitl would neither be fined or suspended for the hit. Give me a break. He should have been. He should have been at least fined. And forward Capo Caco for the Rangers, he'll be back next season on a deal worth $2.4 million. I'm glad to hear about that. Had a good season this year, but his best was the previous season, where he had 22 assists and 18 goals and played all 82 games. So I'm glad to hear about that he'll be back. All right, guys. The sad story of the week, Jerry West, Mr. Laker, passed away on Wednesday morning. The league paid it. Yes. The league paid tribute. Yeah. In a video and a moment of silence before the national anthem in Game 3 on Wednesday between the Celtics and the Mavericks. Both coaches addressed the death of West before the game. When you talk about the Swish logo, Jerry was a gentleman to everyone, said Mavericks coach Jason Kidd via the Associated Press. He was definitely the best. You can say that again. Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla said he was one of the most impactful calls he received was from West when he was in college. Charles Barkley and former Warriors general manager Bob Myers honored West during their pregame shows on Wednesday. It's a very sad day for one of the best. But as great as he was, he went to the finals 9 times and only won once. Can you imagine? But then again, yeah. But look who you had though to stop you. You had Bill Russell, of course. So you had to factor that in.
Exactly.
You couldn't go past it. Yeah. So that it's no more only one title. But he was also known for his efforts away from the court as well. Being a general manager and coach and everything. He was great at that as well as just being a player. So we had to. Yes. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I gotta keep going, Steve. I gotta keep going. All right. So anyway, um, he was one of the first superstars of the league. He was a legend of high school. High school was from West Virginia and in college, and was also on the 1960 Olympic team, a 14-time All-Star, 12 NBA selections, and 5 all-defensive appearances for the Lakers. He averaged 37.9 points per game in a Game 7 series, but his famous shot probably came in 1970 when he had shot 60 feet away against the Knicks that sent the game into overtime. Well, at least the Knicks won that series. Thank you very much. He joins Wilt Chamberlain and Oscar Robertson as the first players in the league to score 25,000 points. West scored 27 points and 5.8 rebounds in his career. Back in those days, there were no assists. Well, they weren't kept track of. After his playing days, he won Executive of the Year twice. He was a scout, a GM, and helped conduct the Showtime era for the Lakers. They won 5 titles, and also signed Shaq and traded for Kobe Bryant in the 2000s, and they went on another run. So he's done a lot for the Lakers and for the game of basketball itself. And, one of the Giants being missed. Yeah. You have any memories of him? Yeah, exactly. All right, I got to move on, though. All right. The Detroit Lions signed UFL kicker Jake Bates probably runs the base motel. To a 2-year contract. Somebody's named Marty Magid on Mag Maged today. That's what he's name. Bates is, I hate to say it, but upstart league. No offense. With 17 field goals for the Michigan Panthers. That included a 64-yard game-winning kick in St. Louis against Louis in Week 1. That was Bates' first kick game as a football player. He did not turn to football until senior year in high school, as he was a soccer player, and was a kickoff specialist for Texas State and Arkansas back in the college days. Bates visited the Packers, Lions, and your Commanders, Steve, before signing with the Lions. So, anyone else have any thoughts? I guess not. All right. While we're on the subject of the UFL, tomorrow is the championship game, as I call it, the UFL Bowl. I guess I can say that, right? The UFL. Okay, I know that doesn't sound right, but you get the idea. So we have San Antonio versus Birmingham. The game was tomorrow, 5 o'clock start. No, 6 o'clock. I'm not mistaken. All right, Steve. So who do we got? Do we got San Antonio or Birmingham? Ooh, that's a mismatch. All right, Dana. Mike. All right, Alex. And Diane. Hey, go ahead. I'm going to go with San Antonio, actually. Yeah. Defense was championship team. Okay, okay. Okay. Diane, are you there? Okay. San Antonio, San Antonio or Birmingham, Diane? Okay. All right. Hey, has anybody been following the College World Series at all? Well, I guess. Well, if you're a fan, then you would not believe yesterday's first game. I didn't have time to do both games, so I just got to do this one. Tennessee over Florida State in a doozy, 12-11, in one of the most in a dramatic walk-off win. Dylan Durling's single in the bottom of the ninth finished off a comeback for Tennessee, scoring Blake Burke and a thrilling walk-off win over Florida State. To continue, the Seminoles appeared to put the game away in the seventh on a two-run double by Marco Dingus off Andrew Beneke for an 11-7 lead. Connor Whitaker gave up 2 runs in the eighth, a single by Drilling. Then Brendan Oxford tried to close the game out in the ninth, but Burke's 2-run single tied the game at 11 apiece. That's right, 11 apiece. Remember, guys, this is college baseball, and no league is actually safe, even if it's up by 5 runs, because they use aluminum bats. So the Seminoles apparently took control with a 6-run third inning, down 4-1. The Seminoles' first 5 batters reached base against the Vols pitcher AJ Causey, resulting in 2 runs. Causey then walked Jackson West, that's Jackson with an X, with bases loaded to tie the score at 4. An error by Tennessee, Burke at first base, an RBI triple from Florida State's Cam Smith resulted in a 7-4 lead. The Seminoles piled on in the fourth with a 2-run homer by Jamie Ferrer for a 9-4 margin. Naturally, you'd think the game was right there, right? Wrong. Tennessee then chipped away at FSU's lead in the fifth on a 2-run shot by Carvis Tears followed by a solo home run by Moore. I didn't get Moore's first name, so forgive me on that one. With the home run, Moore hit for the cycle, and only the second player to do that in College World Series history. How about that? I thought it'd be more than that. So the Volunteers looked like they had an easy dispatch of the Seminoles in their opener. FSU took a 1-0 lead in the first in a wild pitch by Causey, but Tennessee's first four hitters reached base in the bottom of the inning to go up ahead 2-1. The Vols added two more in the second for what would appear to be a comfortable 4-1 lead. Not so fast. The Seminoles then roared back to take what appeared to be an insurmountable lead, but that just gave Tennessee an opportunity for his first walk-off win of the season. The Volunteers now play North Carolina tomorrow night at 7. As for North Carolina and Virginia, North Carolina took their first win in a 3-2 lead over Virginia. The Tar Heels claimed victory with some heroics from junior center fielder Vance Honeycutt, no relation to B.J. Honeycutt, with the game tied at 2 apiece at the bottom of the ninth. Honeycutt hit a single to Jackson, to break. Yeah, to Jackson to break. Honeycutt also a walk-off home run to give UNC in the Super Regionals last weekend. So we got some good matchups here. I think for this it's gonna be down to the wire here, as we're now in the World Series. So who would you take in the first match? Would you take Tennessee or would you take Florida State? Steve? Mike? Alex, if you're still there? I like that. Dana? All right. Jimmy, you're a college baseball fan. Who do you got in the first? Who you got in the first match? Let's see. Yeah. All right. Second match. All right. In the second match, what I said. All right. In the second match, who do you have for the other lap between? Let me get back up here. North Carolina and Virginia. Steve? Jimmy? Alex? Diane? Mike? All right, and I'm going to take – I'm going to – No, I'm going to take Virginia. Okay, Dana, who is it? Okay. All right, just to be sure on that. Okay, so we'll take care of that. Yeah, I told you we had a lot of stuff to do today, guys. So, so forgive me if I'm going way too fast, but we have to take care of all this. Right, back to more news. Justin Verlander was out for today's game with neck discomfort against the Tigers. He told reporters that he had issues with his neck weeks ago between starts, and said he was unsure if it would last more than just one day. Right-hander Spencer Argetti was 3-5 with a 5.33 ERA, took over a spot. He was scheduled to pitch tomorrow, and he has never pitched against the Tigers in his career. Verlander is a 9-time All-Star, a Cy Young winner, and MVP. He missed the first 3 weeks of the season injury, so he's got a lot to work on. Yeah. By the way, might be in more trouble because another starting pitcher might be had the injured list. Kyle Bradish. Last night he left the game early after throwing 74 pitches and complained about his elbow. Now the Orioles have to wait to see if they lose another starting pitcher due to a significant injury. Luckily, you're still in chances of catching the Yankees, but still, So after the 5th inning, he came out and said that his elbow was bothering him, sub by manager Brandon Hyde, who's going to have his Hyde if he doesn't get his act together. We'll keep going for testing, and nothing else much to say beyond that point. Bradish missed the first start of the season with a sprained UCL. Returning is 2-0 with a 2.75 ERA and 8 starts. Even after last night's 11-inning loss, the Orioles are still 21 games above 500. That's despite losing starters John Means and Tyler Wells to season-ending injuries. Ugh. Dean Kremer is also on the injured list with a tricep sprain. Corbin Burns and Grayson Rodriguez are the top of the rotation along with Bradish. The Orioles have been able to withstand their injuries thanks to the pitching performances of Cole Irvin and Albert Perez and rookie pitcher Cade Povich. So that's probably why they're standing, as they are. Because sometimes when you get injured to a top player, a top pitcher, whatnot, or any position, that can really do you in. I mean, look at the Braves situation. No, you don't. All right, the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence agreed to a 5-year extension. The announcement was made on yesterday. The deal is worth reportedly $275 million. The contract includes a guarantee of $200 million and $142 million at the start at the signing. Good Lord. The source on Adam Schefter, Lawrence received a $37.5 million signing bonus in that deal, and that starts in the 2026 season. So he's under contract till 2030. Wow, I'll be 60 years old by then. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. 5-year extension. We had selected Trevor. We had selected Trevor first overall in 2021. Has always become a reality. And General Manager Trent Pollock, our objectives have always been aligned as an organization. We have consistency. Mentioned the importance of extending our core players, and Trevor is a foundation, and we will continue to build on that in our quest for a championship. The $55 million average salary in Lawrence's deal ties in with the Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow in that category in the NFL. He is the sixth quarterback to have an average annual salary of $50 million plus, to go on with Jared Goff, then Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, of course, and Jalen Hurts. If you're wondering about Mahomes, just under the mark at $49.5 million. I mean, come on, Lawrence isn't even that good. He plays on a team that's like less than spectacular. He's not even worth that kind of money. Why would you pay him that? He's really not that good. Well, Trevor Lawrence with his contract, Dana. I mean, he's not really that good a player, and his team is terrible. Let me ask Jimmy. All right, but I'm thinking, what I mean is, Trevor Lawrence worth that kind of money? I mean, really? No, exactly. Got to listen to the questions, guys, that I'm mentioning here. We can't go all the way off. Okay. Okay, our idiot of the week goes to sort of idiot of the week, former Illinois guard NBA draft hopeful Terrence Shannon. Well, I shouldn't say idiot, but because he was found not guilty by a Kansas judge who was cleared of all charges. The verdict opens a pathway for Shannon, the NBA draft prospect, will proceed with the pre-draft process ahead of the June 26th draft. He was charged with rape and sexual battery stemming from an incident near a bar near the campus last September. Shannon was in town for the Jayhawks football game against Illinois. The woman who accused Shannon, whose name was not mentioned, groping, sexually assaulting her, reported the incident to the police the next day and underwent a sexual assault examination kit, but there was not enough DNA evidence to prove it. In January, Shannon was suspended in the wake of the charges, but later received a temporary restraining order from a judge that allowed him to play. Shannon, who plays guard, was hearing boos and chants related to the charges against him throughout the season. No wonder. He did took Illinois to the Elite Eight champion eight tournament, but he and the rest of the team get quiet about it, as he should have, of course, throughout the tournament. Shannon also addressed the allegations at the draft combine, acknowledging the charges were serious, but had denied the allegations since the charges were filed. Yahoo Sports selected him 31st in the mock draft, which I'm paying attention to because mock drafts are just what they are, a mockery of the whole process anyway. But they didn't convict him of anything, so I guess no harm is done. And he may have been falsely accused anyway. So we had to. Yeah, I mean, there's something that sounds kind of fishy with that story. To be honest with you, I want to turn attention to some soccer now because we're in tournaments, and we have the Euro Cup, and we also have the Copa America Cup coming. That starts on Thursday, so I'm going to turn that over now. Uh, okay, just a second. I don't want to. Okay, we're still good. All right, so we're going to turn over to the soccer page now, and it goes down this way. Just let me set up here. And Barkley says he'll leave TV after TNT loses the NBA. But the gang, I think they're going to get more of the college games next year, so that's good news right there. Thank goodness. All right. I said basketball. So do I. All right. So okay. Today's match we had Switzerland being Hungary 3-1, Spain over Croatia 3-0. Not surprised. And Italy over Albania 2-1. I had Italy, I had Spain, and I had Switzerland actually winning those games. But hey, I was wrong. All right. Any thoughts on those games today? Any soccer fans in the crowd? What am I? Okay. Did anyone any thoughts on the games that happened today? Hmm. Let me read off tomorrow's games: Poland versus the Netherlands, Slovenia versus Denmark, and Siberia takes on England. Okay. Take your choices, Steve. All right. Dana. Just pick one match, guys. That's all. Just pick one. Just pick one match. All right, Mike. That was today. I'm talking about tomorrow's matchups. They're not Europe. They're not part of Europe. I'll get back to you. Jimmy, who you got tomorrow's match? Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. How about you, Diane? All right. Now move over to the other one. We'll move over to the Copa America. That starts on Thursday. Steve, we're not done yet, though. Yeah. So we'll move on to the America's Cup now. Group A goes like this. It's stuck. Okay. All right. Group A: Argentina, Peru, Chile, Canada. All right. Mike, who do you got in this group? All right. Jimmy, Dana, and Diane. Diane, who do you like in Group A? Argentina, Peru, Chile, and Canada. All right, I'm gonna go with Argentina. All right. Uh, all right, Alex, who do you got in this group? Argentina, Peru. Yeah. Okay. All right. Group B: Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica. I don't mean Jamaica Queens either. All right, Alex. He's going Jamaica. Mike, Jimmy. All right, Dana, Diane. Did I get you, Mike? All right, I'm gonna go Mexico. All right, Group C: U.S., Uruguay, Panama, and Bolivia. Jimmy, I'll start that one with you. Mike, Alex. All right, Dana. Oh boy, Diane. And whenever Steve gets back, I'll take his. I'll go USA too. USA does very well in this tournament, so don't knock it. They do very well here. And Group D. Group D. Oh boy, here we go. Brazil, Colombia, Paraguay, Costa Rica. Oh boy. Jimmy, Mike, Diane, Alex, and Dana. I'm going Brazil. And just let's see where I want to go over the schedules here. Okay, so we start Thursday, and the first match will be Argentina versus Canada. Oh boy, Canada. Although Canada has made some strides in soccer, so don't underestimate them. Yes, don't underestimate them. So our matches would. So for the U.S., our matches will be as follows: we begin next Sunday against Bolivia. That's a 6 o'clock game. I'm glad these games are at night. Good. Next up, oh, I hate when we do this. So that's the first match. Remember, it's 3 games they play in each group. So we start on the 23rd. Oh, I can go down this way, of course. Next up is that's not what I want, stupid. All right, let's press again. Oh, all right. So let's see here. June 29th. Yeah. Hmm. Somebody gotta get this up. Okay, there we go. So next up will be the U.S. and Uruguay. That's on July 1st. And I think I did miss one here. So just give me a minute here. I believe on June 28th, we gotta go back to that. Okay. I'll find some. Yeah, July 1st is Uruguay is the U.S. And I believe uh, June 26th or 27th we have the second game. Panama versus the U.S. All right, so out of the group with the U.S., how many games do you think we can win? No thoughts? Hmm. Well, remember, it's only three. No, we only have 3 games in this group, Mike. Okay, I'll take two. Anybody else? Uh, three, all three. Okay, I like that. I like that. Very good confidence. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now now we got a crazy story of the week, guys. You ready for this? Okay, it's actually an amusing story. You'll love it. Okay, now this goes especially for dog lovers. One thing that opening MLB does uh, than the other sports leagues does not have is Dog Day. That's right, MLB has a Dog Day. Each year, certain teams select a handful of games to allow fans to bring their furry friends to the ballpark, especially dogs. Case in point, thousands of fans attended Monday night's game at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners hosted their second annual residents Mark at the Park night against the White Sox. Yeah, what? Yeah, right, right. Well, the Pups themselves seemed to enjoy the night as well. An NBC Sports Chicago crew caught an excellent shot of a golden retriever in the Mariners hat, chowing down a hot dog bun in the stand. The Frank appeared to be garnished ketchup and mustard. The clip was posted by NBC Sports Chicago on X and went viral and has gained 2.5 million views in less than 24 hours. We cannot confirm or deny reports that the can in question could replace Joey Chestnut in the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. I swear I'm not making this up. And by the way, Chestnut will not be competing in the hot dog contest as he signed it with a rival company that makes plant-based hot dogs. How stupid is that? Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Steve, who did you get for our soccer picks? Well, how many games do you think he was going to win? Ugh. Well, you should listen. Listen. All right, for we start on the 23rd, which is next Sunday, if this will cooperate with me. All right. US Bolivia on the 23rd. Then on the 27th or 26th, let's check that. 7th against Panama. And then on July 1st between Uruguay. So how many games out of this three set can we win? All in this, guys. I really like that. Thanks. Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I really appreciate this vote of confidence and thank you. You know, it's not the World Cup. Yeah, it's not the World Cup, but we do have yeah, but we do very well in this tournament. You know, which we've seen in the past, and I believe we lost in the final match last time around. So you know, but maybe this time they'll turn around. Right, the Dolphins have come to terms on a contract with defensive end Calais Campbell, a source on ESPN, adding a valuable presence to their sending pass rush. Outside linebackers Jalen Phillips and Bradley both ranked in the top 20 in the NFL's pass rush win rate last season before Phillips tore his Achilles tendon in week 12. 5 weeks later, Nick Chubb tore his in week 17, while both were expected to play this season. The Dolphins, yeah, I got it. Okay. The Dolphins declined a timeline for a return, and neither player participated in organized team activities or minicamp this offseason. Dolphins signed Shaq Barrett in March and continued to add its pass rush via draft spending first and fifth rounds picks off Chop Robinson and Mo Farma. Campbell's now in his 16th season and is playing every game for the season. The first time he's played every game for 2018. He recorded 6.5 sacks, his highest since that season. He recorded 50 tackles and 17 quarterback hits with 10 tackles and a fumble recovery, while putting together his best season since 2019 when he made the Pro Bowl with the Jaguars. He's made the Pro Bowl 6 times and won the Walter Payton Award in 2019. All right, what's going on over there? Wait, somebody's making an awful racket. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so we're moving on. This is a fast moving show, you know. All right. And Minnesota Twins option first baseman outfielder Alex Kilroth, I recall Austin Martin. After career highs of 11 home runs and 40 RBIs in 88 games, last season he's batting 201 with 5 home runs and 20 RBIs in 57 games this season. In 249 season games in 4 seasons with the Twins, Kilroth has batted 248 with 27 home runs and 116 RBIs. Okay, not bad. Moving down. And Mike, good news for you. Edwin Diaz is back with the Mets as the closer. He had been struggling since he had a right shoulder injury. Before going on the list, though, he blew 3 straight saves and 4 of 5 chances, which did not also include a missed opportunity against Miami on May 18th, where he squandered a 4-run lead and was not charged with a blown save. Um, Carlos Mendoza, the manager, said, we need Diaz to be Diaz if we're going to have any chance of turning the season around. Because right now, they're still 7 below 500, and they got to make a move quick. And yeah, 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 but still, they're still 7 games below 500. Yeah, and yeah, and you are playing the Padres. Yeah. All right, I got one more tragic story here. This might be the tragic story of the month. Uh, Coming out of Southern Mississippi, defensive end Marcus MJ Daniels was shot to death Tuesday night in an apartment complex in Hattiesburg, said a coroner. Daniels' body was sent to a medical examiner for an autopsy. Forest County coroner Lisa Kilm said that. Daniels was a starting quarterback for Southern Miss last season and transferring from rival Ole Miss. The senior had 28 tackles and 3 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles last season. Moved to safety for the 2024 season and was expected to be a starter. Southern Miss coach Will Hall and other university officials joined police and emergency officials at the scene of the shooting. The University of Southern Miss and the Department of Athletics mourned the loss of Daniels, who lost his life on Tuesday during an incident that took place off campus. That's the statement read by the university. Davis played his first 2 seasons at Mississippi State before transferring to Southern Miss. This is another, senseless tragedy for such a young player. That would be the worst story of the month, but we still got another couple weeks to go. But so far, I think this might just top it right there. On a brighter note, tomorrow is Father's Day, and it's also graduation day week for a lot of young people here. So, if anybody has any thoughts of what they would just say to dear old dad or anybody graduating, feel free to do it right now. Make an answer. This is a free for all. Yeah, you were there. You were there. I watched that game. Oh man, that was great. Yeah, what a game to remember too. Yeah. Anyone else? Please do. All right. Anyone else? Yeah. Yes. We will be celebrating Father's Day tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit different this year. Miriam. Yes. And you know, of course, my dad passes away in April. We are going to celebrate though. It'll be, but though he won't be with us in his, with us live, be with us in spirits. Don't worry, Dad. Everything's going down here. Okay. Oh, a few more notes here. Rafael Nadal has been chosen to run Spain's national team at next month's Olympics and will partner up with Carlos Alcaraz, or as I can say, Alcatraz, just a little joke, who won last week's French Open. Nadal, who's been healing injuries the past 2 seasons, said the Olympics were his focus and would skip Wimbledon in order to prepare for the Olympics, which doesn't leave you a lot of time either. My main goal is to play in the Olympics, said Nadal after losing the first round of the French Open. There's That's going to be there, so I need to prepare for it and arrive healthy and well prepared. And then let's see. Both Nadal and Alcaraz will play in singles and doubles matches at the Olympics, which will be held at Roland Garros, where Alcaraz won the French Open title last week, and Nadal has won 14 titles as a French Open. Alcaraz will make his Olympics debut and expects an Olympic medal for Spain as one of his top goals. He said after winning the French Open, he prefers winning a gold in the Olympics than defend his Wimbledon title. Okay, I can understand that. Sure, you're playing for your country. I understand that perfectly. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, guys. Nothing wrong at all. Nadal has a singles gold medal in 2008 in Beijing and a doubles medal in London in 2016. And by the way, Alcaraz has when he won, he now has won 3 titles on 3 different surfaces. He first won his first one on clay, then on grass, and then on the hard court as his third major title. By the way, Sheldon Keefe has filed out his coaching staff by hiring former Blackhawks coach Jeremy Colton. Devils president general manager Tom Fitzgerald made the announcement on Tuesday, 3 weeks after Keefe was dismissed from his coach as Maple Leafs. Keefe retained most of his staff finished last season under interim coach Travis Green, who took over for Lindy Ruff, who was fired in March, and they said that it was very rough. Oh boy. Assistant Ryan McGill, Chris Taylor, and former Devils player. This might be familiar to some of you, Sergey Brewin. Anybody remember that name? Thank you. Thank you. And yes, and goaltending coach Dave Rogalski are also expected to return. Colton was head coach of Vancouver's AHL team, 2 years 2 years, both records are 40, 25, and 7, and went to the AHL playoff both times. He also served as Blackhawks coach between 2018 and 2022. I'm not going to touch that one. My 10th for Paul, thank you. He was selected by the Islanders in the 2003 draft and in the second round and played 6 seasons in the organization with 3 goals and 3 assists. Yeah. All right. Can I get something from the yeah, can't go overtime, so I gotta speed this up. Oh, what do we got? We got 6 minutes. Okay, just some quick notes here. Um, this is why I do it from both pages, so I can try to save time. So Alcar's is their major, and he's doing pretty good for you, and is the youngest to win those majors, 3 majors as well. So congratulations on that. I make a little bit of joke about it. I call it Alcatraz. Okay, At the Belmont Stakes last week, Dornach comes away with the win, holding off Mindframe to win the final race of the Triple Crown at 17-1. The horse was co-owned by World Series champion Jason Worth. Won the Belmont Stakes after finishing 10th at the Kentucky Derby. This time, Dornach sat off Kentucky Derby winner Seize the Day and passed the Preakness winner down the stretch and held on. This is the first Triple Crown of any kind for Danny Gargan, and the second for Jockey Sayers. He is one of the top 3-year-olds in the country, and we also thought we let him run the race, and he won it. This is the 6th straight year that Derby Horse has won each of the Triple Crown races. Sierra Leone was the favorite to win, was 3rd, and Honor Mary was 4th. This was the first time that the race was run at Saratoga Springs, and the track at Belmont is under a renovation reconstructive project of $455 million. Yeah, that's right. I said $455 million. Yeah. That'll prove it. That'll put a dent in your pocketbook, right? All right. Boxing star Ryan Garcia was arrested last week for felony vandalism after the Beverly Hills Hotel accused him of causing $15,000 in damage. Beverly Hills apartment. Watch commercial ESPN. Garcia was arrested at 5:45 p.m. A driver dropped him off at the Waldorf Astoria, Beverly Hills. Phone police. The hotel decided to press charges once police arrived through the nature of the damage and behavior was not clear at the time. After he was booked, this is our idiot of the week, folks. He was booked at the Beverly Hills Police. Garcia complained of a medical issue and was taken to Cedars Medical Center for an evaluation and treatment. Garcia's attorney, Dan Chavez, told ESPN that Garcia could be charged with public intoxication. In a statement released later in the day, Chavez said the arrest comes at a very heavy, difficult time as he was worried about his health conditions of his mother's health. Okay, I get that. Garcia is 25-1 with 20 knockouts, is facing suspension from the New York Athletic Commission for use of a banned substance leading up to his victory over Devin Haney. Garcia was for 3 times, but was ineligible to win the WBC junior welterweight title as he was 3 pounds over the weight. Just 3 pounds. Okay. And yeah, by the way, Garcia Alcaraz beat Zverev in a 5-set match to win the French Open. A 5-set match. That's the limit it can go, guys. Five sets. Anything else of that would be absolutely insane to do. Go figure that out, right? Yeah. Yeah. So next up is Wimbledon. That'll be in July 1st. And then they go to the Olympics. We don't have time for this week in history. We'll do it next week because I got to make room for Rasal. He's coming up at 6 o'clock. So I don't want to run over him. So on that note, we're going to end it there. Next week, try to call in because next week is a very special show because it's another year where we celebrate my anniversary. My anniversary of doing not this show, guys, but when I first started doing it overall. You know, back to my roots. You know, my local days. So this will be ready for this, guys. Next week, guys, it'll be 11 years. I kid you not, 11 years. In the words of the Grateful Dead song, guys, remember this. Remember this quote from the Grateful Dead song "Truckin'." What a long trip it's been. On that note, I will give you a deal. We'll talk to you again next week, same time, same station. Good night, folks.